Hello and thank you for watching my video. And today I want to talk about battle dice. In my previous video, I've covered on how you can actually make your own battle dice using off-the-shelf dice and a good marker to basically just color the dice and make it a battle dice. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use those dice most effectively to speed up your game and make your game more enjoyable and overall be more efficient in your battles. So want to show you some scenario here. This is a scenario that I've just put together where Japan here is attacking Russia from Manchuria to this territory over here. So what normally happens is you put all your units onto the battle board and then you roll your dice that way. But when you actually use a battle dice, you don't actually need to do that. Normally, like I said, you'll do this, right? You put all your units onto the battle board just like that, and then you roll your ones, your twos, your threes, your fours, and then the defender rolls the ones, twos, threes, and fours. That is 8 steps that you need to do potentially, each battle for just one round of battle, and you repeat that over and over and over, and that takes a lot of time, and that's very tedious, and it's just not fun, especially if you're the one waiting for a big battle to go. You're not the actual player. If you're another player waiting for that to finish, that takes a lot of time and it's kind of boring. So you want to minimize that as much as possible. Using the battle dice, you can do that. Now here I have the way you're normally taught how to do. You basically put everything on the battle board, right? But actually when you use the dice, you don't need to do that. The battle dice, if I can explain, consists of different colored dice that are pre-marked, so that for example, the white dice represents the 1 hit or less. The red dice represents 2 or less hit. The blue dice represent 3 or less hit. The green dice represent 4 or less to hit. And these are actually the colors that I got from Sireblood. He has also done some videos on battle dice, and I got the idea from him, and he actually makes these. If I can afford it, I'll go buy from him, but I just thought I'm gonna just make my own. So it's up to you. He has really nice dice. If you want to buy his dice, that's cool too. These are the ones that I make. So if you do this, for each battle you have to put all your units from the board to this battle board. That takes time, so that's also not efficient. So what you can do, instead of putting the units on the battle board, you can actually put the dice on the battle board. For example, you have 1, that's 1 or less, so you just put 1 of the white dice. 2, that's 2 or less, that's 2 red dice. 3 blue dice. 1 green dice. And on the defender side, you would have 2 red dice, 1 blue dice, 1 green dice. See that? You don't actually need to take the units to put it on the battle board. You just put the dice on the battle board. And if you get the hang of it, you don't actually need to put anything on the battle board. Okay, so we're doing this extra step just to kind of show you how it works, so that it'll make more sense. So now that I've got this on the battle board, usually you do 1, and then you do the 2s or less, 3. You do 3 or less. You do the 4 or less. But when you have the battle dice, you don't need to do that. You can do everything all at once. So I just take all the attacker dice, right? I'm gonna take that and I put it through my dice tower here. And in one roll, I can see what I've got, which is a 1 hit, and all the rest are miss, right? Okay, now the defender gets to roll. These are all the dice. So defender has one hit and the others are miss. So you can just go straight to the board and take out the units. Okay, I'm going to take out one infantry, and the defender also takes out one infantry. So in this case, we can actually readjust the dice that we need to use. So you have one infantry and one artillery, so that's two of the two or less dice, right? Because of combined arms. You have two tanks, so that's two of the blue dice. You still have the bomber, so you have one of the green dice, and that's it. So now if you look on the defender side, you have one infantry, which is two or less, one tank, which is the three or less, and one fighter, which is the four or less. So you see there, I can start to roll now the attacker. And if you can look at the attacker's dice, you have 4 red, so that means 4 hits and 1 miss. Okay, that's the attacker. Now this is the defender's dice. Gonna roll the defender's dice. All no hits, so it's all misses. So what we have now is a 4 casualties on the defender side, which means everything's gone, and no casualties on the attacker side. So I can take everything off the table, and the defender gets to move into that territory that they've just taken. And let me put a marker. So that's it. So that's how you do your battle dice battle. Much quicker, much easier, and it's much more efficient. All right, so that's pretty much all I need to say. And as a quick bonus tip, I want to show you something that I've thought about. We all get confused sometimes when we use our planes as to how much movement points are left. Whether it's, especially if you have more than one plane coming in from, more than one territory, multiple directions, and, you don't know which is which, which one has 3 left, which ones have 2 left, you don't know. So we all get confused. I know Historical Board Gaming has some acrylic markers that are really nice that you can use to mark that, but that's an extra cost for you, and it's not cheap. So what I have is just a very simple idea, and especially if you're using flight stand, this will work really well. We all know that when we buy our bread, we get this bag clips, right? And these bag clips are very, useful. So save them. Just use a marker, any marker that you like. Put the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, on each of those. And what they can represent is the number of moves left over. So when you've moved your plane like so, you just put your clip onto the plane with the appropriate number. Let's say this this has moved 1 space, then you'll put as being a bomber, you put 5, right? The number 5 on there. It can be the number 3 or number 2, depending on where it's been. So this will basically let you know that how many spaces you have left to move. So this is a good way to act as your fuel gauge, right? So it doesn't cost you much, doesn't cost you anything at all. Very simple. It's not as elegant as the acrylic markers from Historical Board Gaming, but it works. So that's my quick tip. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your being here. If you like it, please thumbs up. If you love it, please subscribe. And if you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to comment below. I really appreciate your presence here, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye-bye.